What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to My Social Life. This is the podcast where we teach you how to grow your social media by talking to the people that have actually done it. And today's episode is episode number 10. I just want to thank everyone that's listened so far. I can't believe we've hit the 10th episode of my podcast. It feels like just yesterday I was recording the very first episode. And when I was recording that first episode, my goal was to hit 10 by the end of the year. And we're sitting here on November 19th, and we've already accomplished that goal. And we have time to hit even more episodes than that, and there will be more episodes coming before the end of the year. This podcast started, it was supposed to be a bi-weekly show. Now it's a weekly show, and that's just awesome. And I just want to thank everyone that's listened so far. We've hit 10 episodes. I can't wait to see where it goes from here. But anyways, guys, today's episode is a good one. Today's episode features Roland Bast. He's a well-known photographer in Ottawa. He has over 21,000 Instagram followers. And in this episode, we're going to talk about how he got into photography. We talk about how he got started late. He started in his mid-40s, but he was able to quickly learn, and he got very good at it very fast. And he started his Instagram, and his Instagram grew at a pretty good rate. And we're going to talk about the importance of being featured by other pages to Roland's growth on Instagram. And a lot of our conversation is going to revolve around collaborations, because Roland is a great photographer. He does a lot of wilderness stuff. Wilderness and travel photography is his main things, but he also does some other stuff. He's just a good all-around photographer. But he works a lot with tourism boards. So we're going to talk about what it's like working with tourism boards, how they reach out to him, how their relationship kind of forms, the media kit that he has prepared that he can send to these tourism boards, and what's in his media kit. We're also going to talk about what the value exchange is like. Is he getting paid? What is he receiving in return for the promotion for these tourism boards? And make sure, if you're listening to this episode, that you screenshot it and post it to your Instagram story and tag @MySocialPod. If you do that, I will share it to our podcast Instagram, and I just want to see who's listening to the podcast. I love this little community we're developing here, so it's always fun for me to see people that are listening to the podcast. But anyways, guys, enough from me here. Let's get to my conversation with Roland Bast. I hope you enjoy it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to My Social Life. This is the podcast where we teach you how to grow your social media by talking to the people that have actually done it. My guest today is Roland Bast, and you are a travel and outdoors photographer. Would you say that's the best way to describe it?
Yeah, travel, lifestyle, landscape.
Yeah?
Cityscapes.
Awesome. Do you want to tell everyone a little bit more about yourself?
Started way late in social media, and it was just as a hobby to begin with, just to kind of de-stress from work, declutter from my life at work, and just enjoy life, nature.
So you talked about starting social media late. Did you start photography late as well?
As well.
Yeah. So
mid-40s.
Mid-40s. Okay.
Well, close to my mid-40s.
Yeah. And then so that was 2014, I believe.
Approximately, yeah.
Around 2014. Yeah. So why did you start? You said kind of as a de-stressor?
Yeah. So I work in a high-stress job environment, and it was just a way to grab a camera, go for a walk. Well, actually, it started go for a walk. Yeah. Then brought the camera, started taking small pictures. They were never really nice. Got a few right place, right moment. First snowstorm of the year really got me going. And people started commenting on the photo, the eye I had. I had no clue what contrast was and nothing. So, and here I am.
Yeah. That's awesome. So do you remember what camera year or what gear you had when you first started out?
It was a Canon point and shoot. That's all I remember.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a long time ago.
Yeah. I think it's awesome though, because I feel like people think if they haven't started something early, that they just shouldn't start it at all. You know what I mean?
I think for the Instagram part of it, as a social media influencer, so I missed all the other steps that people, if I would have started 4 or 5 years before, I think would have gotten really at the right time, right moment.
Yeah. So. That's fair. So how do you kind of feel about your first work then? With your point and shoot,
So I've had a few good shots, for what I didn't know what I was doing. One of these days, I finally, after the point and shoot, I bought a Canon T3, tried it out, lay down on the ground, took a flower, just a small spring flower. So proud of myself. Posted on Facebook, and somebody told me to take it down. Yeah. I look it back now, it's oh yeah, destroyed. Yeah. It's ugly, but I learned.
Yeah. So how did you learn? Because you're completely self-taught, right?
Self-taught. I had a mentor for the first year from New York City.
Okay.
Dan Maiden is his name. He took me on, and we emailed back and forth. So he would email me a subject, I photograph it, and then we'd do the story building up to that. Mm-hmm. So we do the basic photography, then we go up and add more. So by a year later, I become a published photographer.
That's awesome. So how did you connect with Dan, you said?
Yeah, he just knew, we talked on Facebook.
Okay, so
from
just
the same familiar group that we were on.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And so like he'd been doing photography for a while then before?
He's kind of, yeah, but actually knew a lot more than I did.
Yeah.
So much more advanced.
Yeah. So when you first started, how often were you going for the walks with your camera?
It was a couple times a week, 2-3 times a week. Sometimes just take the Jeep out and go for a drive, find something I like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you talked about, so within a year you were a published photographer.
I know.
So what was that first publication?
It was called, you got me on that one. Crowd Magazine.
Okay. And how did that kind of come about?
I shot my first ever fashion show for Chio, which was just as a trial and error. I walked in, there's an old man sitting next to me. He says, "What are you shooting with?" Told him I had a Canon T3 back then still. And then he says, "Well, try these settings, because you're gonna have to shoot manual. You have to do this." So I did. It's my first experience shooting manual. One of the designers that was there really liked my personality. It wasn't about my skills, it was actually about me. So we set up a photo shoot in her parents' house. And they had a large home, so it was really nice. And it was published in Crowd Magazine about 3 months later.
Okay.
I was like, wow.
Yeah. So I kind of want you to talk about like the importance of like the personality aspect, because I was talking to another photographer and they were saying that photography is a portion, but it's not even half of being like a published and a professional photographer. The other half is your personality and your business acumen.
Yeah, and my business acumen is not the best. I probably lose money because that side of it I don't have. I actually do it for pleasure. Mm-hmm. But I know there's a reward at the end of it. I just don't know how to price that rewards at times. It's just, I guess, just being warm and open to everybody. Don't exclude anybody that's there, especially at an event, because she was not Canadian. Well, she's Canadian, but not my nationality. And she really enjoyed when I approached her, smile, hello, how are you doing? And that's all it was.
Yeah.
And just to be approachable.
That's fair. And then, so from there, I'm assuming you've been published many more times since then?
Yeah, I've been right place, right time. Snowy Owl. And I took the photo in early 2015 of a snowy owl. Just got back from a big trip, jet lag, decided to go out that morning. It had snowed the night before, fresh rain in the morning. He was just sitting there waiting for me. And I just walked up as close as I could. And every 10 feet I would take some photos just in case he flew away.
Yeah, that's fair.
The photos cropped majorly. And I just uploaded it to Canadian Geographic, the photo contest. So I had no clue. Forgot about it. And 6 months later, it was in top photos of the year.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Not bad. I've seen that photo. It's a good one.
Yeah, it's not bad. I'm happy.
Yeah. So is that probably your most notable published?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, on Facebook, it hit 30,000 likes twice.
Wow.
On 2 different pages. So,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
It's
a great feeling.
Yeah.
The first night it went viral. I had no clue what's going on. Just sitting on the Mac, and it's like right side, the left side just kind of going, just a black line moving up and down. It's like, God, what did I do to the computer? It's like I just posted a photo. It's like it's just this black line going up. I couldn't see how fast the messages and the likes were going by.
That's like that every like movie moment where something goes viral. Then kind of like you lived it.
It's like, so I started like shutting down Facebook. I'm on Facebook, still doing it when I open it. It's like, okay, well, it's just Facebook. So finally I looked at the photo again. It's like it was at 14,000 likes already. It's like, holy shit. And the comments, like, just incredible. I had no clue what contrast was. I had no clue what composition. I knew the rule of third. That's it.
Yeah.
So.
That's crazy. Now, was that picture taken on the T3i still?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. With a 55 to 50 lens, kit lens.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
You don't need the big equipment to do that shot. You just need to be.
Do you think equipment factors in it all now?
It does now. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now it's the best glass that I can get.
Yeah. So what are you shooting with now?
Now I got 6D, Canon 6D.
Okay.
2470 2.8 L series lens. I got a 1635 2.8 L series lens, and I have a 7300 regular kit lens for wildlife.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. So do you think in terms of beginner photographers, when people are just starting out, do you think they should go big and try and get good gear, or should they start kind of simple? Start
simple. Mm-hmm. One of the things is you got to make sure you like it and you're going to use it, because it's very expensive. So my kit costs about $10,000 right now. That's where I'm at. Plus I got studio lighting. I've got props. I've got all kinds of stuff. So
Yeah.
it does add up.
So you do a lot of professional work as well with your camera?
Not really. I just do a little bit. The props I do, sometimes my friends will ask me to do their baby shoots and stuff like that. So I set it up. I bring some props with me, so I have something to work with.
Yeah. That first Chio shoot, was that a paid gig or was that just
It was a free volunteer.
Free volunteer gig? Yeah.
Yeah, anything Chio's all volunteer.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Because it's fundraiser, so you all give your time. So I've done about 3 shows.
Okay.
The last 5, 6, 7, I've done 3. So
Yeah. Do you remember your first paid gig?
first paid gig would have been, wow. I don't remember my first paid gig anymore.
No?
It's been a while.
Yeah. Do you have advice on how to land a paid gig?
So you need everything to be set up. So my first paid gig, my God, it's got to be Canadian Geographic. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, so they paid you for the feature then?
No, I had to go look back. It's like I went to James Bay with them to count how many polar bears are on the island stranded for the summertime.
Yeah.
So that was my first big paid gig.
Okay. So you weren't responsible for counting the bears or anything? You were just taking the pictures?
I had to document every bear we've seen in photography.
Yeah.
And there was someone else in there with me writing the story about something else, but we're also documenting the bears for Canadian Geographic. Mm-hmm.
So how like as a whole, how's that trip? Like
it's excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Bucket list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when was that?
2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they paid for everything, and
They paid for everything plus a paycheck at the end of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And that came about through the work or through being featured by them?
Featured by them. I also had done a non-paid gig with GMC with them.
Okay.
So they sent me on location for GMC.
Sorry, what's JMC? I'm not.
General Motors Canada.
Okay.
So we did the Denali line.
Okay.
So
That's awesome.
Fun. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
That's what I like to do right now. So,
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is it like automobiles?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so you started Instagram. So you started shooting in 2014?
2014.
And then Instagram kind of started?
2015. Late 2014, I started actually pushing it.
Okay.
I always had Instagram in the back.
Yeah.
I just wasn't using it as seriously. And one day somebody told me, Instagram, you'll never make money out of it. And there you go, lit the fire, and it's like, I'll prove you wrong.
Yeah.
So I did.
So when you first started really pushing Instagram, did you clear out everything you've done before and kind of start?
I cleared up quite a bit, yeah. Mm-hmm. So, and I still clear up to anything that I find that doesn't match. So either giveaways sometimes they don't really match the rest of my stuff, but I'll keep them there for a while and then I take them out.
Yeah. And then, so you started late 2014 with Instagram, and then I think by like halfway through late 2016, you'd already had 14,000 followers.
At first, I used to get, before the algorithms, before all that came on board, I used to get features, about 4 or 5 features a day, 3 features a day on different groups. So that helped.
Yeah.
I've got some on Canon Canada. I've got some with Explore Canada. I've got one, they have 1 million followers. That one there gave me like 1,000 followers in one day.
That's crazy.
So it was just crazy. It's just, those were the days where you could actually grow quick compared to now. It's either you're buying your followers.
Yeah.
Because you can't grow. And I know some accounts that are growing too quick. And it's
a little suspect sometimes, and they're growing too quick now. Yeah. So feature pages worked for you kind of back when you first started.
They worked a lot, yeah.
Wow. Because I've talked to people and they say they don't really work as well anymore.
Not anymore. Back then they did.
Yeah.
Like,
do you have like any reason as to why? Like, is it just the algorithm, people not seeing it when it gets featured, or people that just see so many photos now they don't?
So many, they don't. Unless you've got these incredible photos, which it's harder to get here. We don't have the scenery, we don't have the lakes, we don't have, if you have fog, we don't have anything to go with it as much. So it's kind of, the whole composition of a photo is not really built for Ottawa.
Yeah.
We do have some really cool spots, but there's only 10 of them.
Yeah, you can only go back to them so many times.
I know. So, yeah, so growing. The features really did it.
Yeah.
Features. I was featured a couple of times with Tourism Ottawa.
Okay.
Well, many times, but they've done a couple of programs where I was part of it. So it actually helped to get their followers to follow me on their webpage. I was always there. So.
Yes. So was it entirely through features, or did you ever do some stuff with like hashtag or engaging with different people?
A lot of hashtag. I didn't engage much.
No.
I'm pushing that now. That's my new push this past year, is to engage more, and I reply to every comment.
Every comment.
Yeah.
So because you
Except
have
for this week.
yeah, that's fair. But so you're sitting, I think 22,000.
Almost 22,000.
Almost 22,000. Yeah. So how many comments do you get usually on your
I get
average
about
picture?
45, 50.
Okay.
It's not bad. Could be better. If I ask for a question, or if I asked, like yesterday's post had a lot more comments about questions about Cappadocia, which is one of my past trips that I did. I just wanted to bring the photo back to life, and as I'm writing a blog for it also.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So, but still 45 comments take some time to get back an answer. So when did you do anything else at all, or was it literally, for the most part, like most of your following is attributed to being featured?
Featured. I organize a lot of Insta meets.
Okay.
With the locals. I travel some. When I do travel, I try to organize an Insta meet in the area also, so they get to know who I am. I kind of pick up their followers too. Do a lot of cross promotion.
Yeah.
With campaigns.
Okay, so like what kind of campaign?
So with Chateau Laurier, Chateau Montebello, we do a cross promotion. I'll do a giveaway. Get a follow boat. Kind of builds my account that way right now.
So you've done some giveaways, definitely beneficial as well with the follow both accounts.
Yes.
Yeah.
They do well.
Yeah. Do you do them pretty often, or?
I try to limit them to twice a month.
Okay.
I don't want my followers to really just to be there for that.
Mm-hmm. So when you talked about the Facebook post when you got featured by Canadian Geographic, and it kind of went viral, was your Instagram or anything linked in there or tagged in there at all?
It was after a while.
So they didn't do it initially.
No. The second round around, I put my IG name on it.
Okay.
So I try to push everything that it's all like circular. So it goes from Instagram to my Facebook page to my Facebook personal page, and then Twitter's a separate part of it, but I do promote a lot with Twitter also. Okay,
that's fair. So did you see anyone really come over from when your ad handle was finally added there, or?
It was a growing time. So a lot of growth happened with everything. So
yeah,
I became popular overnight and kind of lost it a little bit, and then had to rebrand, had to reformat what I was doing. I wish I'd have done more research on it, how to do it, how to be more successful. Better hashtags probably would have worked even better.
Yeah. That's just the perfect answer, because my next question was, what would you have gone back and done differently if you could have?
There it is.
So that works. So, but when you talk about what you rebranded how?
Just to reformat how I do things. I used to post 3 photos a day, almost every day. So I went to 1 photo a day. The time of day that I post is usually mornings, between 8 and 10. Once in a while I post at night, later in the evening, 7:30. I kind of gauge it through my insights where my best posting time would be, to kind of get the overseas crowd come in first.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So, but you talked primarily posting in the morning.
Part of the morning.
Why is that? Is that just what the insights tell you? Or?
The insights are usually higher in the morning.
Okay.
People get up, go to work, they kind of check it right away. So I usually post around their break time, around 10 o'clock.
Okay, that makes sense.
So I got 10, got 12. Usually I have a pretty good outcome.
Yeah.
For the post. So.
Okay, and then so when you were posting 3 times a day, then you stopped posting 3 times, posted once a day.
Yep.
Did you see your engagement go up, or how did that
Everything went up?
Everything went up.
Yeah.
Really?
Because I think they're used to having 3 photos. It just seemed like 3 photos a day. The 100 likes per photo. 1 post a day, 300 likes.
Okay.
So it kind of worked for me that way. So
yeah,
it didn't take long.
And was that pre algorithm change? So when everything was still chronological?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that's fair.
The good days.
Yeah. Yeah. So how much has the algorithm affected you? Did you see your engagement go down at all, or?
Engagement was going down. Features have gone down drastically. Like I get 1 feature a month now.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm shooting decent stuff. The quality's there, and I see the features that people getting features. Like, well, I've got that shot too, right there.
Yeah.
So, because I was with him.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So if tomorrow you woke up with no followers and no photos, how would you kind of grow it again? Or would you even try to grow it again?
I don't know. It's the algorithm right now is really killing, and it's one of the things I have to sit down and actually study more of it, just to see what I can do different. I'm not sure if I'd start again.
No?
I continue photography.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know if I'd do like a full-fledged account to build it up to 20,000 plus. I think I'm already there.
Yeah.
Hopefully nothing happens.
Yeah.
Knock on wood.
Yeah. So you think, so the algorithm, it's kind of a, not necessarily a deterrent, but it kind of holds you back a little bit. But you think if you like really like took a lot of time and sat down and kind of studied and go through it, you think it's still possible?
I think it's still possible. I've never studied algorithm. Mm-hmm. I've never really paid attention. I just know that whenever they change, I was affected by it. Mm. I know some of my friends that are like they're dedicated to seeing everything about algorithm, everything that's going on, and I know they changed, and I know they're still successful. I just don't have the time still. Mm.
I mean, you still have over 20,000 followers, which is a lot. Like,
yeah, and I work full time.
Yeah, so with working full time, then how often do you get out to shoot photos now?
I get out 4 days a week, 1 week, 3 days the other. So I try to capture 2 photos a day.
Okay.
Stack them and wait till my work days and have some material. Like this week I haven't went out, I was away, I had some stuff to do, so that's why I'm posted Cappadocia.
That's fair. But I'm sure you have a huge backlog of photos that you can pull from.
I do, but once they're gone, they're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Once I went through that phase of the week of the month, whatever is fall photos, they're gone, it's finished, and I try not to come back.
Yeah. So when you go out and you're taking all these photos, how many photos do you think you take typically that you kind of whittle down to those select few that make it to Instagram?
20.
Well, that's it?
Yeah.
Oh, so you wait for that perfect shot, more or less?
It's in the eyes, what I see. So I can be walking, just see something I like, and it takes me about 3 to 5 shots to get it.
That's crazy.
And I do about 3-4 shots a day.
Yeah.
3-4 subjects a day, so.
Okay.
When I'm going out.
Yeah.
I will shoot 100 shots. I will shoot 200 shots like everybody else on some subjects because I'm out with someone else and we're taking time. And recently a client was like 100 shots, about 100 shots to get 5.
Yeah.
And I knew exactly what they were going to pick.
That's fair. So when you go out and you shoot, is it a long walk, or usually not too long if you're only taking about 20 photos?
That's not too long. I usually go for a specific subject. Mm-hmm. Intuition is plays a big part with me. So my intuition tells me to go out tonight, I'm going to go out.
Okay.
No clue why, no clue where, but I'm going out. And I usually come back with 3 or 4 successful photos.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What would make you, if you took a photo, what would make you not want to post? Like if you're going through pictures?
Quality, composition, lighting, the 3 that matters to me.
Yeah.
The story.
Okay.
Could be a bland story.
Yeah.
Beautiful photo.
So when you talk about the story of a photo, what do you kind of mean by that?
It has to have the photo has to have direction, sense of meaning to something. So I kind of look at it all together, and it's like sun flare. That's my warm moment. What I'm going to add with it? Would it be 2 benches, 3 benches? The quantity of benches I'm going to put to make that sun flare like pop out at the end, and kind of create the whole photo instead of just one piece of a photo. Mm-hmm.
Do you do anything with the storytelling kind of in post-production?
I use Lightroom. That's it.
Yep.
No Photoshop.
None at all?
Nope. And I recently started using lens distortion.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like on the app?
The app, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Just to up my game a little bit because everybody else is using it.
Yeah.
There's just something missing in some photos. I kind of use a little sun flare here and there just to pop it up.
And it's super subtle. Like it's not So we talked about posting once a day. Yep. Are you still trying to post once a day? Or
still trying. Some days, like today, I haven't posted yet. I'm going to wait till tonight because I'm going shooting after probably just around sunset time to catch. I want to catch the clouds in a bluish color, not a black color. So hopefully that'll work tonight.
Yeah, that's fair. So then when you're posting, when you skip a day, does that ever happen often when you skip a day?
It does about once every 2 weeks.
Yeah. Do you notice engagement difference if you miss a day and then you post?
No. I can see my followers going down.
Really?
I'll use a few followers. There's so many bots. Mm-hmm. There's so many no good accounts that they follow after 3 days. So if I don't keep up my engagement every day on the photo post, I usually lose a few.
Okay.
After the next days.
Yeah. And so with posting a picture every day, how long does it take you to make a post from beginning? So when you go out to take a photo all the way up to posting time, like how long does that take?
Going out's taking the biggest part of it. Mm-hmm. Editing is only 2 minutes max.
Oh, you don't spend a lot of time in Lightroom?
No, just basic. Adjusting light, shadows, clarity, and a little contrast, colors.
Yeah. Is there any helpful apps or anything that you've used, like whether it be for feedback or
No.
nothing at all? No. Just straight up within Instagram and.
Yep. I have just to see what my post is going to look like. I do have an app, and I can't remember the name of it.
UNUM?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Similar, just to see what it's going to look like on tomorrow's post.
Yeah.
So that's it. And I barely use it.
Yeah. So with looking at what it's going to look like, is there an aesthetic you try to follow with your posting? Or?
No.
So no
Nothing.
specific style?
No specifics. Whatever comes up, whatever I feel that day to post. Mm-hmm. So my feelings have a lot to do with my posts. You can pretty much see how I feel on my post, probably just the way I speak about the post and how I explain what I was doing.
Yeah.
So
we talked about doing cross promotion.
Yes.
A little earlier. I think a collaboration is something I want to talk about a lot, because have you done quite a few collaborations?
I've done a few, and I've got one coming up this week.
Yeah.
I just sent one in. I was sending one in the truck just a few minutes ago.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So typically, how do these collaborations come about?
Most of them will contact me and ask me if I want to join in on this collaboration. So we just take it from there. Mm. They're not big money makers.
No.
So no.
So typically, what's the value exchange like then?
Usually it's a freebie for a freebie.
Okay.
So I've got 5-star hotel rooms. I'll give away a 5-star hotel room as a collaboration.
Oh, cool.
So I have to try the room, then I give it away.
That's awesome. I mean, it's not a big money maker, but it's still a free 5-star hotel room.
It's a free 5-star hotel. It gets me out of my area. Mm-hmm. I get to tour that area for free. Great photos, great content to post later on. So
yeah,
it's a win-win situation. Yeah. Eventually, when my numbers get bigger, I will ask for a cash exchange also. Mm-hmm.
So if when you say they're taking you out of the area, do they usually provide for your travel expenses?
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I was just in Mont Blanc recently and did a big collaboration with them. So other than the weather being miserable one afternoon, the rest was fine. We had an excellent time. Like everything was well set up, well prepared, and it makes it easy. Mm-hmm. And even though it's all well prepared, I was still late. So.
So is it typically travel companies that will reach out to you?
Tourism boards.
Tourism boards?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why do you think it's primarily tourism boards?
Because it's pretty much what I'm going to be aiming for. So I'm actually I've been pushing them for a while, just that to get in. Mm-hmm. You need 50,000 plus followers just to get the basic coverage.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you mean, like the basic
So
coverage?
if I want to travel, like to say Banff National Park with Travel Alberta, I need 50,000 followers or more just for them to even consider bringing me there.
Okay.
So
have you done stuff with other tourism boards before?
So I do smaller tourism boards. I did Vancouver, and again, Vancouver is the city itself, and it was basic coverage that they gave me. Mm-hmm. So I paid my flight, they paid some of my accommodation, they paid some of my, all my tours were paid.
Yeah.
So I had 75 choices to choose from.
Okay.
Some were little dinky tours, but they're so fun to do, like, little, like a Thomas the Tugboat, mm-hmm. kind of little boat, kind of go around the river in Vancouver. But you see so much different stuff from that point of view. Mm-hmm. So it was worth it. And
like you said, it gets you out of your area. You get different content as opposed to just being here. Yeah.
So I've met some excellent people along the way. I met some great restaurant managers, owners. Went inside the kitchen. They kind of give you the tricks of the trade. Some of them actually go back in Vancouver. I go back to one of my favorite spots, just a sandwich spot. Love it. They treated me well the first time I went in. They had no clue who I was. They gambled on saying, we'll give you a couple of drinks, and bought my sandwich and asked them directions, and it was fun. That's
awesome. So do you get people asking you that aren't tourism boards typically? Like, are there companies that reach out that you usually turn away because it doesn't fit your brand?
Not many. The ones that reach out are usually car dealerships right now.
Okay.
So car companies, and those are the ones that I like to do. It's an experience. So I was just flown to Tofino, BC this year. Sudbury, Ontario, just recently for another company. Everything's paid. Mm-hmm. I get to drive a 2019 vehicle, whatever the mark is.
Yeah.
I drive that vehicle for X amount of hours. We stop, eat. It's always 5-star hotels, resorts, so you get spoiled.
That's not bad, though. Especially if you get a lot of it paid for, you're just traveling for free. Do you travel often then?
Not as often as I wish. It's about once a month. It's usually fall and spring.
Okay.
That's when these cars go on. So the next one should be in the spring. I know the company already. Now if I'm asked to go, I'm not sure.
Okay.
So I just finished with them on another product. So
Yeah. So what kind of makes a good experience when you work with a brand, and what makes a poor experience when you work with a brand?
them being organized.
Okay.
And they always are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but you've never had an experience when they're disorganized, or?
No, the companies that actually run these events, it's not their first ones, and everything's done to a T. Everything's timed perfectly. It seems like they do the experience before we do it, so they know exactly.
Yeah. So, what's that tip when they first reach out? What's that first kind of message from the brand look like?
Hey, Roland, we're throwing this conference, whatever, for this new product launch. You're interested? And then you just reply, and then they start sending the back and forth emails. It only takes about 24 hours usually.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a pretty quick turnaround.
Because they know exactly if they want you or not ahead of time. Are you available? That's the other one.
Okay.
So
And I know you have a media kit. Do you ever have to provide it for brands?
I don't even provide it.
No?
They go through my website or my blogs. So that's where, because I blog the story, the experience. I don't blog about the product as, in details. I blog about the experience of going back and forth. Let's try this product. This is how I felt. This one I was driving. The truck car got me to this area. Back massage felt really great while we're on the highway. Rock and roll music in the background.
Yeah.
It's how we felt it in the truck or the car, which is what I write about.
Yeah. So how long have you been blogging? Is that a pretty recent thing?
That's pretty recent. That's my new 2017 update to everything, because you need it. I've been turned down by tourism boards due to the fact I don't blog.
Okay.
So they don't care how many followers you have as long as you have a blog.
Interesting.
Some areas they care about the followers. So, yeah.
But so is there ever a thought to kind of do the blogging on your Instagram, or do you like to keep your captions pretty short?
Yeah, it's pretty short. You notice that?
I mean, it's a pretty standard thing across a lot of people. They try
so.
to keep it short.
Yeah. So you check out, I don't know if you ever checked out Roland Bast. She's the Australian first professional Instagrammer.
Okay.
She was here. She's the one who got me started and hooked on Instagram. So I was already doing photography. I was just starting Instagram. She gave me a shout out, and I got about 2,000 followers that day.
That's not too bad.
No. I was her tour guide here for Snowy Owls. Just after I had that championship photo. So, yeah. She writes long captions. I'm going to get back to that point.
Yeah.
But she's got a lot of details, a lot of information, and that's what she likes to do and how she likes to present stuff. Do I read it? Probably not. Do my followers read it? Probably 10%, I'd say. They might read the first few lines.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty much standard to everybody.
Yeah, people have such short attention spans nowadays that...
Unless there's a product that really interests me, that I want to read in details, like, win red, black tickets.
Yeah.
Then I'll read the details because I want to know how to participate. But if I'm telling a story about Montagnard Blanc, let's keep it short, because right to the point, the information they need to know. Websites usually, I try to add it in my bio, just to get that quick response for them.
But so then blogging was basically a value add that you could provide for tourism boards?
It is.
But do you enjoy the blogging?
It's hard.
Yeah?
I'm not a writer at all. I take the photos, and the stories come out with the photo. So what I will promote will come out, and try to do it well and represent the product well also. Yeah. And honestly, because
So do you include a lot of your photos in your blog?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's 1,500 words or longer per blog, and usually about 6 major photos, and I'll have groups of photos. Okay. So the groups will contain, like, if I do an activity, a hike, might put 3 photos of the hike. Just so you have to see a different angle of the hike and what I did and what I seen. So
that's fair.
Sometimes I put a little selfie in there so people know who I am. This year's the first year I added selfies in my photos. Okay. So it's usually my photos, me looking up in the elevator for a long time, just to keep it different.
Yeah. So why did you started incorporating, when you say selfies, is like a literal selfie with a phone, or like someone will take a good shot?
I'll add myself in the photos. So a side profile, face on, just so they know who I am, that I'm actually a human.
Yeah. And then I think you started recently posting like good, well done shots of you in photos. Yeah. Is that a new thing as well?
That's a new thing also, yeah.
Yeah. So what was kind of the motivation behind doing that?
Just to introduce myself more.
Okay.
Just to be more human and not so robotic, because that's what I've been doing for the last 4 years. Yeah.
Have you noticed any like engagement spikes when it's photos of you?
No. It's just normal.
Just normal?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair. So kind of back to that media kit though, what do you have in yours, like when you're going to a brand?
So I have an introduction, who I am, what I do, how I tell my story. Then after that, I've got 3 concrete campaigns that I worked on. Naming the company, what we did with the brand, 1 photo of the brand, the brand's assets, so that they know it's an actual brand that I've worked with. And the last one would be all my credentials, campaigns that I've worked on last year, the last 12 months. And it's updated frequently, and all my numbers, so all my insights for Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
Okay, I just want to quick apologize for the dog again.
No problem.
To you and to everyone listening. He's never done that before. I don't know why. He usually just hangs out in his little house there. But we'll kind of move on from Instagram to other platforms now, because you also have a Facebook page.
I do.
It's not the same scale as your Instagram. Why do you think that is?
Facebook page was to remove all my followers that were following my personal page to get them to go to a Facebook business page. Because I want to try to keep my life private a little bit, which it did not work.
No?
No. Because they follow me on both.
That's fair.
They wouldn't leave because I'd ask them like nicely to just kind of move over to that account, and this is my private page. Because I did one rant one day.
So do you think that when you asked everyone to kind of come over to your Facebook page, the business page, is that where you got a majority of your followers from?
Yeah, I got some. I used to do the ads once in a while, just kind of to show people like.
Okay.
It worked for a while, but then I realized that a lot of the people that I was gaining were not like fully engaging anything. They wouldn't even like the photos. They wouldn't even like they'd like the page, and that was it. So I stopped that many years ago, and it's staying there. It's just stale. Recently, I started sharing the photo from my Instagram account directly to that page. Okay. So if I want to share more on that day, I can share a group of photos also. Those photos are doing a lot better. It's picked up a lot more.
That's fair.
Again, algorithm
Yeah.
went from 1,800 views per photo to about 500 per photo.
Okay.
So because of all the mix of everything, it's changed again. And so now I'm trying new concepts of sharing from Instagram to Facebook page to my Facebook personal account. The insight will grows quite a bit, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I've got a decent follower on my Facebook personal page.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So from back when you first started doing photography?
Yeah. Friends, family.
Yeah.
So
that's fair.
I don't have 1,100 friends in my life.
Yeah.
Just people that I've met along the way, and they, for some reason, nobody wants to go to the business page. Yeah, it's a lot harder.
Yeah. Yeah, I found Facebook's probably one of the hardest platforms to grow on.
It is. I just seen somebody with 1 million followers recently. It's like, wow, man.
Wow, yeah, that's impressive.
I won't name the name, but hey.
Because a lot of Facebook, it's pretty much just word of mouth and people sharing your content, because there's not really discoverability.
No, there isn't.
Yeah.
So you got to share a lot and do a lot of promotional stuff like advertising. So as which a sponsored post.
Yeah.
It costs a lot at the end.
Yeah.
For 1 follower that's might be staying. So.
Yeah, and then Twitter. Twitter, I mean, is a little easier to grow with retweets and stuff.
It is easier. I just started Twitter about a year ago.
Okay.
Full blast. It's a 1 photo a day.
Oh,
Pretty much
really?
Same thing.
Same photo as your Instagram?
Concept, same photos Instagram. Sometimes I'll have if I go out some nights and I shoot and I have 2 similar photos, I might switch it to Twitter. Put one from Alexandra Bridge. The other would be on Instagram will be the Parliament. The next day I'll flip them over.
Okay.
So it's got
the exact same.
Exact same. Try to create different content, but it's really hard when you work full time. And it's just getting stuff ready at night, replying to all the comments. Because I try to reply to comments the first hour.
Okay.
That's the important part of the day. That's the only important part of the insight that I keep track of. So.
Have you found some success with Twitter though? Because you're up, I think, over 2,000.
I'm at 1,300.
Okay.
It's been as powerful as Instagram at some point.
Really?
Yeah.
How so?
The insights, the stuff people don't see, the shares. I've hit 60,000 views on 1 photo.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Incredible.
Yeah, just the retweets and stuff. I
retweets,
say.
and somebody from the States decided to say that Niagara Falls was freezing over, and had a photo just freshly posted, and that went viral with them. So
that's awesome. So is there a plan to kind of keep pushing on Twitter and try to go more on Twitter?
Just going to be a basic growth, very small. I don't follow that many people. I'd actually just love to unfollow everybody.
Yeah.
And just keep it at 0, but I'm not. They've been following me since day one. I'm going to keep there, but I don't follow that many people anymore.
Yeah.
I'm just going to let it grow, see where it goes.
That's fair, but not much with Facebook either, though. Just kind of.
Just going to let it ride, just to have it. I need that Facebook page to get the business page on Instagram, the business status. So
yeah, that's fair. With kind of your growth on Instagram, because you had that when you first started, obviously it was a high trajectory, and it's kind of slowed down a little bit, and that's like I think we talked about entirely attributed to the algorithm. You think for the most part? Quite
a bit.
Yeah.
I don't pay attention to the hashtags. The last 6 months, I barely had any hashtags.
Okay.
Because I thought I was blocked. The algorithm block.
Yeah.
Because I was always using Canadian hashtags. I was using pretty much the same companies or the same pages I've been supporting the last couple of years. And I realized that they didn't see my photos, so I had no clue what was going on. So I just removed all the hashtags for about 6 months.
Okay.
Just using the basic Canon, because that's what I shoot with, and Canada, because Explore Canada follows me. They've been following me since day one. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So with kind of removing your hashtags and stuff, did you still growing a little bit though, right?
I'm still growing,
so
yeah.
How do you think people are finding your account, even if you're not coming up on hashtags?
When people follow someone, it'll show at the front page who they're following.
Okay.
So that can be a factor. I use minimal hashtags, so I use 4 or 5 hashtags per photo most of the summer.
Yeah.
And my photos didn't suffer.
Yeah. So I mean,
the numbers have stayed pretty much the same. Recently, I started using a lot more nature photos and nature hashtags, and to try it again, just to something totally different. Basic hashtags.
Yeah.
But I'm now starting to research hashtags.
Okay.
So just see what works better.
Yeah. So when you say research, like going on Google or kind of like
Google.
digging? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do Google and say what the hashtags are for this style of photo. See what they bring up.
Yeah.
Then I'll do a couple of people search, see what they have also.
Okay.
That shoot similar products I do.
Yeah. And have you found like good returns from doing that?
I had a couple of good returns, so I really enjoyed it. So we'll see what happens.
You kind of keep doing that then, keep an eye on things.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But you don't use any apps to kind of like find hashtags or anything or nothing at all, eh?
No.
Just
don't have time.
Yeah. Manual labor kind of going through it, and that's fair.
The old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see where it goes.
And then do you know, like with your blog, has it been growing as well since you've started it?
It's very slowly because I was with Google Plus, and I know they're closing down some of their products due to a conflict of somebody kind of crawled in, got some information out. So we'll see what's going on. So I had to move everything over to WordPress just recently. So I'm still in the process of moving over. So a lot of the old blogs are popping up again. I still got my Google Plus account because this way here it goes directly to Google. Don't know how long that's going to last.
Yeah.
So it helps with the search. People find it.
So did you have a website before you started blogging, or
No.
was nothing and then?
Just a free blog site and basic tools.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's like Grammarly and
Sorry, doubling back to Instagram. Yep. You moderate on an Instagram account, correct?
I do, yeah. It's Ottawa Photo.
Yeah.
So I moderate that account, and I also moderate their account on Facebook.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Ottawa Photography Network on Facebook. So I moderate that one too.
And so that's basically the premise of the account is you share photos from other people in the Ottawa area.
Exactly.
So I'm kind of more interested, not necessarily on the growth side of that one, but how you go through and what you decide to select to share.
It's what represents the city best. That's all it's supposed to be, and we've got there's never been any target of marketing areas. It's just been growing as it grows, and it's just to show the beautiful side of Ottawa. And we're really lazy on it right now because it takes a lot of time.
I can imagine, yeah.
After your account, because we all have an account. We all manage this one. There's 4 of us that manage this, 3 of us in the back that nobody knows about. We'll pop in the account just to verify, kind of keep a clean eye on all of us, because we're just posting whatever needs to be posted. We don't do any cross promotions unless it's something that we feel valuable to a cause.
Okay.
Say cancer cause, kids, that's more valuable, the things we value in life. So why wouldn't cross promotion with some of the companies I work with?
Yeah. And then, so I think you're featured in the bio though as one of the moderators. Have you noticed a spike at all from people kind of coming to that page and then going to yours?
So the first year and a half, I got a lot from those followers when I started. first of all, they would promote a lot of my photos. That's how I got on board.
Okay.
They would promote a lot of my photos. They would listen to my photos. My photos did well. And then I got on board as we started talking, private messaging, and I got on board with them. And yeah, once I got on board, I was posting every day almost for them too. So, so it was like I was posting 4 times a day, 3 on my account, 1 on theirs.
Which is a lot.
It was a lot. And then, yeah, I got a lot of promotion from them. A lot of people came back. And it was a good growth.
Yeah. But now you're not kind of in it as much as you were back then.
Well, now there's 3 of us. So we're kind of taking our turns every day and a half, a week. So just and when one's off, away, we all work and travel. So
yeah.
We do it good.
Yeah.
It's a fun account. There's no money made out of it. It's not the intention. It was just to grow it.
Yeah. So what's next for Roland as a whole?
2019. I want to travel more. I want to get back to traveling full time, as I was doing like 4 trips a year.
Okay.
Plus my contracts that I get. So
yeah. And do you have any like how you're going to acquire those additional trips?
Well, so you got till end of March to send in your media kit to travel agencies, travel companies, and tourism boards. Yep. So I'm going to start shortly. I've got one that's already started. I was started last June after a trip I did. They couldn't give me money right away, but they wanted to collaborate with other products. Now I've got them all lined up. So
that's awesome. Yeah. So outside of, because that's kind of within the 1 year goal, but do you have any long-term goals that you're striving for?
Retire from work.
Yeah.
And do this full time.
Okay.
But it's to get the nerves to actually move forward. And, I got to have a secure income for a year. So
yeah,
that's the biggest nerve-wracking part of it.
Absolutely.
You never know.
Going freelance, it's definitely different.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's, as I said earlier, the business part of it, I probably underpriced myself at times.
Okay.
So that's where I got to learn more and be more strategic on this is how much I'm worth. This is what I want. And if you can't give it to me, well, I'm not going to cut back.
Yeah, there's no point in devaluing yourself.
No, because cross promotion is fine. When I'm using my space to advertise for you, then you got to pay a little bit more, and that's how it goes.
Yeah. What do you hope people take away from your content?
Joy of traveling. Just exploring even your backyard.
Yeah.
This is our city. A lot of people got no clue what goes on in Ottawa. The areas we have in Ottawa that are really nice that you can explore. You don't have to leave the country to see some stuff.
Yeah.
So this is traveling with me, basically.
So when you, within Ottawa itself, I know you talked about it having the same few spots to go to, but do you think that there's more to Ottawa than people give it credit for?
There is. There is. And it's growing. So they're opening up new areas. I don't know if you're in Chaudière Falls. They've opened up a brand new park where you can watch the sunset. They've taken some of the material that was controlling the water, like all the wood blocks, actually made benches with them.
Oh, cool.
So it's actually just recycled products that are opening up a new park. Sunsets are incredible. It's sound of water, sun going down, little vino and cheese and away you go.
That's awesome, though.
It is. So that's brand new. Nobody knows about that spot too much, and I promote it very well. But you know what? It's what they decide if they want to explore it or not. I couldn't find parking. Walk.
Yeah.
Take the trails. The trails will lead you right there.
That's fair. Cool. Are you cool before we kind of wrap up here to do a Q&A?
Sure.
So I used to call it rapid fire, but when I said rapid fire, people thought rapid answers.
Okay.
Rapid questions, rapid answers. But if you want to elaborate a little more, you can. It doesn't have to be like one word or anything.
Okay.
First one, I know we kind of talked about this before, but show you're binging on Netflix.
I don't watch Netflix.
Nothing at all.
No clue how to turn it on.
That's fair. Anything you're watching on TV at all?
Usually reality shows.
Okay.
Voice, Amazing Race, a lot.
Yeah, you Big Brother guy? I watch
Big Brother, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
What's your favorite app? Favorite app that's not Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter?
Well, I've got a brand new app that's out that I'm part of. So it's called Go Wonder, and it's a travel app. I do the Ottawa experience in photography here, so you can hire me for 2 hours, different times of the day, and I'll take you to about 10 of my favorite areas in the city. It's also with camera settings, different angles that you can take the shot from, basic photography crash course on the spot also.
That's awesome.
And when you're traveling outside the city, you can say your destination, where you're going, and when you're going to be there. If I'm traveling the same area as you are, I'm going to pop up and say, hey, I'm there. Let's do a tour together.
Cool.
We can hook up for a tour. It can cut your cost down. You also have a companion to travel with that day. If you're going to do a hike, you don't want to go by yourself. You have another Canadian from the same area.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's nice to meet other people.
So it's the app kind of is a way to connect with other travelers.
It is, yeah.
That's awesome.
So it's only here in Ottawa right now, but the travel app, the Travel Buddy app, is open to around the world already.
That's awesome. Yeah. Cool. Next question: who are some Instagrammers that you follow that you think people should check out?
Roland Bast. One young one that's coming out now is Christopher Austin.
Okay.
C. Austin. He's been around me for a little bit. He's actually surpassing me. So.
Wow.
Yeah, little bugger. Antoine Bernier.
Yep.
Bernier, also another one that's started with me on some of my tours that I do with that I host at Park Omega, and he's also up and coming. In the smaller market again, is Elbow, Celine, also up and coming, really doing really well. Should do well in the future.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Is there anyone you watch on YouTube that you'd recommend?
Nobody.
No one on YouTube.
Well, Fro knows.
Yeah.
Just with my camera settings when I do courses, sometimes somebody will send me their camera and I'll just do a little research on it. I usually use his products. Very easy to understand, very, very detailed.
That's fair. What music are you listening to right now?
Whatever's playing on the radio.
That's a good answer.
Radio or TV, because I usually put the music on the TV and I kind of blog in the living room. So
yeah. Are there any books that you're listening to? Or sorry, books that you're reading?
No.
No?
Not at all.
None?
No.
Any podcasts that you listen to?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Yeah. we'll be listening to some this week.
Hey, there you go. Restaurants in Ottawa. That hidden gem.
Hidden gem?
Yeah.
Datsun.
Okay.
A little more on the expensive side, but I think the atmosphere, the food quality, the flavors make up for the rest. So,
yeah.
High end, Mina. It's a food pairing with wine, but it's a blind menu. So they show you 20 ingredients, 30 ingredients list. You knock out the ones you don't want because of allergies or something like that, and they'll prepare your meal with the rest.
That's so cool.
Paired with a good wine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bring your wallet.
That's fair.
But it's my age, it's more my pairing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Next question. Do you have any consistent morning and night routines?
Nah. Get up, do my post, go to work.
That's fair. But you kind of have that post in the morning. It's kind of your routine.
Yeah. Prepare the night before usually.
Okay.
So the writing's done the night before. A lot of times I'll change it in the morning.
Yeah.
The photo, I don't see it the same way in the morning and say, okay, well, I can't say that because I'm not there anymore.
Yeah.
So
that's fair. So this question, do you know who Gary Vaynerchuk is?
No.
So I was listening to his podcast, and it's the question he asks. It's what are you obsessed with? But it's not a high level thing. It's a very nitty gritty thing. Like I just bought this brand new sweater and it's so comfy. I'm obsessed with this new sweater. Something random and specific that you're obsessed with right now.
Oh, wow. Got me on that one.
It's a tough one.
It is a tough one. I don't know, just, wow. Nada.
Nothing on that one?
Yeah.
Oh, we can skip it. That one's okay. 3 items on your bucket list.
My bucket list, a return to Iceland. Australia's always been a bucket list, but hopefully I can afford it eventually.
Yeah.
And a hot air balloon ride.
Oh, cool.
Which I had the chance this year, but it didn't go.
No? How come?
The weather.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
So I was a guest with Tourism Ottawa. I was going up to do their photos, but there's no flight.
Oh, that sucks.
I know.
Maybe next summer?
I hope so.
Yeah?
I hope so.
It'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So you're going to dinner. You can take 3 people, dead or alive. Who would you take with you?
Dead or alive. I don't know.
Yeah,
Tina Turner, I think, just because of her life struggles and what she's been through, that would be a good one to sit next to. I think she's, there's something about her life story.
Yeah.
Wow. Probably my grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
Yeah. Just to catch up.
Yeah. What's the best advice you've ever gotten, and if you can remember, from who?
Best advice? One door closed, another one opens, and from Lauren.
Okay. So do you kind of want to elaborate on the one door closed? Is like
one door closed in your face. There's always what's going to open up the other side, and it's going to be better. And it's all about Instagram. It's all about pushing after somebody told me a comment that I would never make it anywheres. So,
but I mean, I think you proved that person wrong.
Yeah.
So
it opened.
Yeah. What is something about you that people would not expect?
I'm quiet.
Yeah.
I'm shy. And I don't like talking in front of cameras.
That's fair. That's very fair. Sorry, what were you saying?
The shy one's really big. Nobody knows that one.
Yeah. No, I didn't expect that one either.
I know. But it's...
Okay. Very last question.
Okay.
What is one thing that everybody should know? Doesn't have to be about you specifically. It's just one thing that everyone in this world should know.
You don't all have to say yes.
Pardon?
You don't always have to say yes.
Okay. You kind of want to elaborate on that one a little bit? Like,
there's some people that want to please everybody else. They say yes to everything. You don't have to. You got to control yourself.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
That's awesome. Well, I want to give you the floor. Where can the people find you? Where do you want everyone to check out? Plug everything you got.
Instagram, IG Roland Bast. Twitter, Roland Bast Photo. Facebook page, Roland Bast Photo, because somebody took Roland Bast. Oh, that was me. And my actual Facebook page is Roland Bast.
Cool.
Blogs, rolandbast.com. Everything's pretty much paired the same way. Twitter was the same thing. I had taken the account 6-7 years ago and forgot the password.
That's fair. That happens.
I know.
Yeah, but I'll make sure everything's linked in the show notes and the description as well, so people can easily find you there.
Perfect.
I just want to thank you for coming on.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. And thank you to everyone for listening to this episode. As always, whether you've listened the entire way through or only to bits and pieces, I appreciate you taking the time to check this out. If you guys could do me a favor, please go follow Roland on Instagram. He has some beautiful, beautiful photos, and definitely check him out on Twitter, Facebook, and read his blog. Thank you once again for listening, everybody. We'll talk soon.
Cheers.
Thank you once again for listening to this episode of My Social Life. I put a lot of work into each episode, so it means a ton to me that you're listening. And if you guys could do me a favor, go follow Roland on Instagram. He's a great photographer. He's at Roland Bast. I'll make sure everything's linked in the show notes down below, and you can find him on Twitter, Facebook, and his website just by searching up Roland Bast. He'll come up. And I also want to thank you once again for 10 awesome episodes. I'm so happy we've hit this mark, but I'm not going to slow down. We're just going to keep going, guys. So thank you for the support thus far. It means a lot to me. And if you guys want to follow me, you totally can. I'm at the Jacob Kelly on Instagram and Twitter. You want to follow the podcast, we're on Instagram at @mysocialpod. And if you haven't screenshotted that you're listening to this episode yet, make sure you do that and post it in your story, tag the podcast, and I'll share it to our Instagram. And thank you once again for listening. We'll talk soon.